Do we really need to send a big delegation? I leave that to government to answer. But I know that government has learned their lessons from what they used to say in the past. We know that this is the biggest existential threat that faces Fiji and the Pacific Island countries. And we need our voice in COP. But I leave that question to government to answer it because, unfortunately, a cabinet member questioned the delegation in very irresponsible. As raised in the point of order on Monday, but I'll ask the Honorable Speaker, Prime Minister to sort that out, Mr. Speaker, sir. It's very unbecoming of a cabinet minister to raise such question on the delegation. Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji, on the 29th October article by Maureen Penchueli stated that, or asked this question, is Fiji losing its global standing? Well, probably that is what provoked government to send a bigger delegation. At the same time, I know that we are investing in our young talents as well, Mr. Speaker, sir. But sort that out. Sort that out, government, please, Mr. Speaker, sir. On the issue of... I'll just sum up, Mr. Speaker, sir. Just allow me just probably a minute. We need to prepare now for the next COP. I stated last year, when we came back from COP, that Fiji's delegation needed better organization for greater impact. I know that the preparations have been good, but there are still a lot that we can do now. Now, we do it now. Not wait for the next COP, not wait for the next few months. The first thing that government needs to do now is call for a debrief. A hot wash or an after-action review, whatever you want to call it, let's do a debrief now. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, and that debrief must also bring in the technical people, the negotiators, ministers, and of course, diplomacy as well, Mr. Speaker, sir, because now the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister learned his lesson. I raised the issue about diplomacy because when we are stuck, our technical people are telling us, oh, the developed countries are telling us this. But we have friends in the developed countries, sorry, sir. We have friends in the developed countries. That is where diplomacy plays a very critical role. And going back to the delegation, this is something that we need to consider, Mr. Speaker, sir. And lastly, thank you for allowing me to say this, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would suggest to your good office, Mr. Speaker, sir, let's, in the parliamentary workshops that we are doing, let's run a workshop on multilateralism and regionalism, because according to the foreign policy statement that was released by the Honorable Prime Minister lately, that is a force multiplier to our foreign policy. Because every member of the delegation, and especially ministers, you can just go and read the piece of paper that is given to you by the technical team. But you don't understand COP. You don't understand the politics of COP. And that is why we need to have some sessions on multilateralism and regionalism. He's talking about AOCs, Pacific Seeds, G77. That's regionalism into multilateralism and how we use diplomacy to get our issues across. There's a lot to discuss. I look forward to the debrief, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, and I'll ask the Prime Minister to sort out the issue between the Minister for Sugar and the rest of the delegation. Thank you, sir.